It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Hey, good morning and welcome to the Travel and Cruise Industry Podcast. On this, the 22nd day of December 2025, coming to you from my studio in Forest, Virginia, right outside of Lynchburg. Of course, today's show is brought to you by Will U.S., the owner of Scootaround, and by chilliescruises. We do have some headlines today. The lead story this morning, MSC adds wellness program and treasure hunt to Ocean Key. I'm kind of looking forward to when I'm there in February, especially the treasure hunt kind of idea with what it does. Hopefully that will be one of the things that's open when I'm there. Also, this morning, AIDA transits Panama Canal for the first time. A guest disappears without a trace. The EU system creating delays. Royal sailing scrapped. Pickleball courts added to Half Moon Key. Viking becomes sponsor of youth football. Celebrity ships breaks mooring lines. And a fatal ferry accident in Bangladesh. That and lots more live here at 11 o'clock this morning. Today's National Date Nut Bread Day. Some of you may not know what Date Nut Bread Day is. I had to look it up to make sure I knew. It's actually made with cashews and dates. I'm not a big date fan, but I like the bread. So I'm okay with Date Nut Bread Day. This day in history, in 1851, the Library of Congress burns to the ground. Probably was an accidental fire. All right, so if you're a podcast person, just pointing out you can always access this broadcast via my podcast, which is accessadventure.net, or wherever you get your podcasts from. Just search for Travel and Cruise Industry News. A little clarification of a story from last week about the damaged dock in Cozumel. So I talked to Eli yesterday, and Eli's army was deployed in search of the facts on the damaged dock in Cozumel. And the truth of the matter, as we know it, is one of the downtown dock, actually half of it was damaged by what we think was a Royal Caribbean ship, but they're not entirely sure on that. But we think it was damaged by a Royal Caribbean ship. It was that half of the dock was closed for a couple days while they repaired it. It's now back open, and it'll take ships on both sides of the dock again. So everything's back to normal. So my thanks goes out to Eli's army in Cozumel. And I'm sure the army has no name, but we won't go there. So, all right, here's my holiday Christmas schedule and beyond. I'm not going to be doing a show Christmas Day. Some personal reasons. Probably going to be an emotional day for me. It'll be my last Christmas home. But so no show on Christmas Day. I will do a show New Year's Day. So just the one day off for the holiday. Then when we get around to my travels for the Grandiosa in February, There will be no show on February the 6th. That's going to be a travel day, and it's a day when I've got a lot of extra things that I've got to tend to other than just traveling. So there's not going to be a show on the 6th or on the 23rd. We'll be traveling back actually to Kentucky on the 23rd. I'm not real sure on the amount of time it's going to take me, and I've got things that I have to do on the back end of that. So the first actual broadcast from my new studio in Kentucky will be on the 25th. So no show, Christmas Day, February 6th, February 23rd. I'll remind you those. Of course, a number of us will be on one or the other or both of the MSC Grandiosa sailing on February 7th to the one of them goes to the Western Caribbean and one goes to the Eastern Caribbean, February 7th and February 14th. So, let's see. Did I have anything else that I had to cover this morning? I don't think so. So we'll continue on with the news portion of today's show after a quick break from one of our fine network sponsors. I'll be right back in just a minute. Okay, so the lead story this morning has to do with MSC, as a matter of fact. So, Nestor, what have you found out about MSC?
MSC Cruises is set to introduce a wave of new entertainment and wellness offerings at its private island destination, Ocean Cay MSC Marine Reserve, beginning in January 2026. The expanded programming is designed to enrich the guest experience for families and travelers visiting the Bahamian retreat. 2 professional coaches from MSC's fleet will be based on the island to host daily wellness and sports sessions. The lineup will include yoga, functional fitness training, and a variety of popular sports, along with signature experiences such as sunrise yoga paired with sound healing meditation and a fire and ice challenge that blends hot yoga with ice bath recovery. The new wellness concept aims to transform Ocean Cay into a beachside retreat, giving guests time to relax and recharge during their call. On select itineraries, MSC will continue to offer late-night and overnight stays at the island, allowing passengers to fully enjoy the expanded activities. In addition, MSC will debut an educational augmented reality treasure hunt centered on marine conservation. Using mobile devices or tablets, guests will follow a digital storyline that guides them to wooden sculptures positioned across the island. Scanning each sculpture unlocks AR content highlighting specific environmental challenges and MSC's conservation initiatives. The experience is designed to be family-friendly, helping children learn about the fish, plants, and wildlife native to Ocean Cay. The treasure hunt also connects directly to the island's Marine Conservation Center, where visitors can explore the MSC Foundation's ongoing coral restoration efforts. The new activities will be introduced in phases over several months starting in January 2026, complementing Ocean Cay's existing offerings such as snorkeling, paddleboarding, and jet skiing. To schedule a visit to Ocean Cay, call Chillie at 434-258-9264.
Now, I am hopeful that the treasure hunt will be in the early schedule for improvements to the island, because, and I'm also hopeful that it will be wheelchair accessible. Most of what they do on the island is, however, there are still some sandy places that the chair's just not going to go. My chair. They have the sand chairs available, but my chair won't. So I'd like to follow and film the entire treasure hunt with the various sculptures along the way that relate to the conservation efforts and end up in the conservation center and the coral conservation program. I think is making the most out of Ocean Key. I'm really looking forward to that. So, and hopefully, if it's not done, I'll go back again on another MSC cruise just so I can do that, because that's, to me, I've said all along, is the import of that island, and they ought to make more of it. So I'm all in favor of it. Okay. Nestor, what's next with AIDA?
The AIDA Diva recently crossed the Panama Canal during its world cruise, marking the first time that an AIDA ship sailed through the canal. Sailing from the Caribbean to the Pacific, the ship transited the original locks of the Panama Canal on December 6, 2025. The AIDA Diva is offering a 133-night global voyage that sails to 54 destinations in 27 countries across 5 continents. The ship sailed from Germany in early November. Pleas are rapidly spreading across social media for any information about a guest missing from AIDA Luna as her family and friends seek to find her. The female guest is a Chinese citizen last seen on Friday, December 12, when the ship was visiting Marseille, France. The woman, Chin Dong, boarded AIDA Luna on December 10 in Palma de Mallorca for a 5-night Mediterranean cruise visiting Marseille, Palamos, and Barcelona. The ship returned to Palma de Mallorca on Monday, December 15, but Dong was no longer aboard. American Cruise Lines is preparing to launch a new Gulf Coast itinerary in March 2026, deploying the American Symphony, a vessel with capacity for 180 guests, on a route between New Orleans and Pensacola. The inaugural voyage is already sold out. The ship will call upon 6 ports en route: Gulfport, Mississippi, Biloxi, Mississippi, Mobile, Alabama, Pensacola, Florida, and finally back to New Orleans. For information on this cruise, email chillie@bookalaska.net. Travelers heading to Europe may face delays of up to 3 hours at airports due to the European Union's entry-exit system, which launched on October 12. The EU Digital Border Scheme is causing 3-hour waits at passport control as officials struggle with a 70% increase in the time taken for border checks, says the group representing Europe's airports. Currently, just 10% of travelers are required to register through the digital system, but that number is expected to grow to 35% by January 9. Thousands of Royal Caribbean guests received emails with some of the worst possible news a cruiser can get. Their sailings won't be going ahead as planned. Due to a redeployment, Freedom of the Seas will no longer be able to operate several Caribbean and Bahamas itineraries. At least 3 sailings for Freedom of the Seas have been cancelled for the second half of 2026. Impacted guests were given 3 options to move or cancel their reservation. So far, it has been publicly confirmed that the 5-night Western Caribbean cruises that were scheduled to embark in Miami, Florida, on September 14 and October 26 have been impacted. The 4-night Bahamas sailing that would have set sail on September 10 has also been scrapped. Holland America opened 4 pickleball courts at its private island Relax Away, Half Moon Cay, bringing the cruise line's signature sport to its Bahamas destination. The new courts debuted December 6 with a tournament between passengers from Rotterdam and Eurodam.
We have the equipment you need to stay mobile. Whether you need a wheelchair, scooter, power chair, rollator, oxygen, or other pieces of mobility equipment, Scoot-Around, powered by Will, can help. Once you've booked your rental, we can deliver it to wherever you need. For your mobility needs, contact me or call Scoot-Around at 888-441-7575. Use SRN 11137 for the best rates.
Viking and the Norwegian Football Federation have signed a partnership agreement that puts young football talent firmly in the spotlight. Under the new agreement, Viking becomes the main sponsor of the National Team Academy, Landslagsskolen, and Norway's youth national teams. The partnership is part of Viking's Future Vikings program and will support the development of Norway's most promising young players for at least the next 5 years. The goal is simple: help create the next generation of Norwegian football stars. A 14-night sailing out of Buenos Aires, Argentina was delayed after Celebrity Equinox broke from its mooring lines and started to drift. The drifting ship then had a slight collision with a refueling ship that left a long scratch along the side of the hull. Online video of the scratch left some social media comments wondering about the damage, with one saying, "Hopefully it's just the paint and there's no structural issues." A Dhaleshwari River deployed ferryboat in the Bakhtabalai area of central Bangladesh lost control of a loaded vehicle. The accident occurred shortly after the boat departed late on Saturday evening. As a result, multiple vehicles fell into the water while the ferry was crossing mid-river between the eastern Bakhtabalai dock and Narsingpur. A loaded truck apparently started moving forward, pushing a motorcycle, 2 battery-run auto rickshaws, and a van overboard before it also fell into the river. All 5 vehicles subsequently sank beneath the river surface. Maritime and River Police reports state that 3 occupants of the submerged vehicles were later confirmed deceased.
That's the first time a battery-run rickshaw has ever been mentioned on this show.
We're bringing some holiday cheer to the Las Vegas Strip. Book a mobility scooter or wheelchair rental by January 4th to save. The winter months are a fantastic time to visit Sin City, with cooler temperatures and holiday light displays. Get out and explore. Rentals in Las Vegas are 20% off when booked by the 4th of January 26. Call Scootaround at 1-888-441-7575 or reserve online. Use code LVHoliday or SRN 11137.
And that's going to put an end to the news portion of today's show. So let's go over and see who's fussing at me in the chat room. Oh, I did get a message from X that for my live stream to go on X now, I have to have, what does it say? Something, a premium account is now required for live broadcasts. So I've got to upgrade to a premium subscription on X or stream to a different destination. I will take that under advisement. Okay. Back to the chat room. Hot Air Tom says, hello, everyone. There's Eli. Buena dias, Chillie and the gang, from a cloudless, gorgeous day in Playa. Hope everyone has a happy and healthy Christmas week. Yeah, I didn't say that as well. It's a happy Christmas week to everybody. It's not a big time for me. So, I don't go out and shop, but I do some things online, which are done, of course. We're going to have a nice dinner here. Actually, we're having an interesting Christmas dinner. Amanda decided she wants to fix paella. Now, I happen to love paella, so I have no problem at all with it. I'll miss the turkey. But I can deal with a nice paella meal as well. So we'll have that Christmas, probably Christmas evening. All right, Katie's with us, says, good morning, all. Good morning, Katie. Eli says, buenos, not burnish. I missed the burnish part. Yes, buenos dias. There's Mike on the other side of the pond. Good morning, Mike. Bob's with us. Says, have a great Monday. There's Gary Older Dirt out in California. Good morning, all. Merry Christmas, everyone. Christmas Day is a Thursday. Christmas Day is Friday, isn't it? Did I figure that wrong? Today's the 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th. My bad. You're exactly right, Katie. Christmas Day, I'm a day off. Christmas Day is Thursday, so I'll do a show on the 26th. I'll do a show on Wednesday, too. Wow, how did I miss out on that? We were talking about that last night, and Amanda was saying that it's Friday because she was figuring out when she needs to go to the store. I have to send her a message and tell her, no, we're a day off. Thank you, Katie. She was figuring on when to go pick up the seafood for the paella, and because she wants to get it fresh, but she doesn't want to wait till New Year's Eve, Christmas Eve to go because she figures everything will be out. So I'll have to correct her on that. Thank you, Katie. I tend to screw things up, so that was just normal. I heard it was International Short Person Day. I'm taking that since I'm barely 5'2". Well, I can deal with it being the short person as well. I used to be 5'10". I think I've shrunk a little bit now. Christmas Eve is a Wednesday. Yes, Katie, thank you. Jamin's with us. Looking forward to a warm weather Christmas. Cindy Lee. Hi, Cindy. She says, good morning to everybody. Hot Air says, good point, Katie. Cindy was saying the same thing. Yeah. I was completely wrong. Didn't even look at the calendar. I looked at the calendar for when I was going to be traveling in February. Didn't even look at it for this week. Oh, well. Eli says, I was thinking the same thing. So, Christmas Eve show. Yes, we'll have a Christmas Eve show. So I won't be doing a show on Christmas Day. That's exactly what I said. I was correct all along. Yeah, that's how you call twisting the facts a little bit. That picture with the sun bothers lots of knobby knees. I don't think mine stick so much like those. The picture with the sunbathers. Oh, sunbathers. Lots of knobby knees. I don't think mine stick up so much like those. Christmas Day and New Year's Day are Thursdays. Did you mean no shows Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve? No, I'll do a show Christmas Eve and New Year. Just ignore that, Mike. This week, no change in schedule. I will do the show on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I just totally screwed that up. Okay, so let's make that perfectly clear. I'm doing a show today, Wednesday, and Friday this week. Period. The end. So, and next Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. There's nothing changing now until February. Oh my goodness, I have to change that up about 6 places now. Hot Air Tom says Chillie's Christmas present should be a cash payment for half the value of the farm. Seemed like a good present. Well, that's probably not going to happen, Hot Air. There's some personal matters involved with that one that we don't want to get into. Eli says, wish we could get a caravan together and help Chillie move. If I lived on land, I'd love to help. I'm not going to move a whole lot of stuff. A lot of my stuff is going to go out. Obviously, I've got to have clothes. I got to have stuff to do the show. Other than that, it has a kitchenette, although I won't do any cooking there, or very little, because I get 3 meals a day. The food's provided. But I've got a refrigerator for my Diet Coke, and if I want to keep snacks or anything in there. I'll see how the food is, But, I'm not I'm going to try to live junkless. Get rid of a lot of this crap that I've got laying around that I never touch. So I'm going to simplify that part of my life. Eli, we have 2 guys in a truck that showed up with 3 guys when our office moved. Katie says, I'll be cruising on Friday. Good for you, Katie. Which ship, Hot Air wants to know. There's Gretchen out in Ohio. Hi, Gretchen. Ignore all the business about Christmas Day and forget all that. Just ignore it. You don't even want to ask. Normal schedule, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And we don't care about schedules now. Katie's going to be on Adventure of the Seas. It's one of my favorite ships. Merry Christmas, making cookies today, Gretchen says. There's Roger down in Jacksonville, says, hi, everybody. The big question is, what day will Chillie be eating his Christmas dinner? I will be eating my Christmas dinner on Christmas Day. I will tell Amanda as soon as I get off the air that we were a little off schedule. Don't lose those tie-dye shorts. We need them for zip laundry. Absolutely. Eli says, we love you, Chillie. We just want the best for you, good friend. Yeah, that's okay. Gretchen says, I did ignore it. Figure no show Thursday. Yeah, no show on Thursday. That is correct. Hot Air says, hi to Roger. Would you be interested in cruising with Ken on Jim in late January? Eli says, hit the thumbs up, everyone. Thank you, Eli. Robin has departed and Ken will need a new cruise companion for a cruise already paid. Anyway, that's going to put an end to today's show, everybody. If anybody's interested in going with Ken, let Hot Air Tom know. Let me know, and I'll let Ken know. I'll let Hot Air Tom know. So, yeah, that'd be great. All right, guys, that's going to wrap me up for today. I will be back here on Wednesday and Friday this week, folks. Don't worry. I'll be here. And next week, too, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Don't worry. Sorry about that. All right, guys. That's going to wrap me up for today. As always, stay safe, stay healthy. Think about cruising. And hopefully one day soon we'll all get together on the high seas like a bunch of us are in February. All right, guys. Have a great day. I'll see everybody back here on Wednesday. And have a happy Christmas week. See you next time.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner, hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chilliescruises.